You are now tuned in to this week's episode on Toddcast. It is our mission to bring you guest speakers sharing their latest and greatest tips, skills, stories and know-hows within their market. Let's get going.
Hi everyone and welcome to today's Toddcast. We're very lucky to be joined by Georgie, who is a fellow Togger, and she is the Talent and Development Manager here at the One Group. And today we're going to talk about EVP. But first, hi Georgie, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Do you want to give a little bit of background about yourself before we begin?
Yeah, of course. So I am the Talent and Development Manager here at the One Group. So my role is to attract 360 recruiters, resources to contribute to the workforce, but also while they're here to make sure that we are caring about their career and we're giving them the best training, development and ongoing growth available to them.
Great. So EVP then is something that every company does without even realising that they're doing it, don't they? It's the main thing that attracts people to the business, but it is more than that, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. It's about how you are perceived to the outside world beyond your organisation. So it's about what benefits you're offering, how you look on social media, why would somebody want to come and work for your business? And it's being able to portray and to showcase how amazing you are and, how dedicated you are and what kind of commitments you've got to people that come and join your business.
As well as like the company culture and things like
100%,
that.
yeah.
And so when people are looking for a job out there, if they've got two companies in front of them and the packages are quite similar, they might be more tempted to go with the company that they've got a stronger EVP, say.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I know if it was me going and looking for a new opportunity, it would be how attractive does that look? What do they offer their employees? Not just in terms of salary and everything like that, but what's the growth like? What's the progression like? Where's the company going? What do the company do in terms of a social aspect?
Yeah, the culture.
What's the what are the company values? Because that's really important.
Yeah.
But also, what are the benefits to me working there? Not only am I going to give them, my professional expertise, exactly, but what are they going to give me in return in terms of the culture, the working environment, the flexibility? There's so many more things beyond just what you're doing.
It's been a big shift, hasn't there? Because I think years ago it was all about what you can bring the company, but now it's like, I'll bring it, but what are you going to give me in return other than the salary, because I can get that anywhere.
Well, it's a massive candidate-led market and it has been for years, so we need to attract and retain the right people, which inevitably is going to make your business more successful.
So today we're here to talk about 5 top tips on how companies can improve their EVP using your experience and the One Group as an example. So where should we begin?
So I suppose it starts with, really understanding what your current EVP is, and the only way you can really do that is to sit back and assess what you want it to be, but also what it is to what your employees also want it to be. So here at the One Group we've conducted surveys, we even relaunched our entire benefits Jan 23 because it was a case of what do our people want in terms of benefits. There's so much competition out there, so we were like, well, let's ask our own people, because we value what people think, and so we conducted a survey, we interviewed people, what's important to you. Is it holiday? Is it hybrid working? Is it flexibility? Is it 2-hour lunch breaks? What is it that you want? Is it private health? So, we had to understand how our employees are how our employees are going to perceive our organisation's value proposition, and identify what motivates people and what the key factors are. And then really pinpoint areas of improvement. So what do we do currently? How can we make that better? How can we improve that? And also not only for our existing staff, but also the people we're trying to attract.
So first top tip is to go to the source, 100%. Speak to the employees and find out what they're looking for.
What's important.
Yeah.
Because those types of things are going to be the things that pull people away from your organisation and be attracted to somewhere else. So is it private medical care that is something that you're really lacking here that you're going to get somewhere else? You know, even something small like that. You know, so we relaunched our benefits, and we actually only used to offer private medical for a certain level. We now do it for everyone. That was a really big shift for us, and that was, you know, the amount of feedback we had on that was brilliant. That they get to benefit from that as well. So it's just kind of making it really inclusive.
So is there an easy way for companies to do that, like a survey, or would they like sit down and do like a focus group, or like what do you recommend?
Surveys are always great
because they can be anonymous.
They're anonymous. They can be totally confidential. A suggestions box, you know, just things like that. You know, you can even go old school. But it's really just, you know, talking to people, and we have a really open forum here at the One Group, and our communication, we're really transparent, which I love about that here, and I think most of our employees will agree. And if you don't ask, you don't get. So you know, we do want to be able to put it out there to people to say, what is it that you want? You know, we looked at various different things to improve it, and actually what came from our survey and our results were actually we're doing it really well as is, but there were just a few tweaks that we could make, and we have.
And you did the rollout, and now
we rolled it out.
We
enhanced the benefits matrix. We brought in progression and different areas of which that people can develop. We brought in new job titles. So
Okay, so second tip then, what would you say is another thing that companies can do to try and improve their EVP?
So I think it's really important to align the EVP with the company values and the culture that you've already got. So to ensure that your EVP aligns with the values, employees are more likely to stay if they share that same value and culture. We have actually already kind of touched on that anyway, but it's just making sure that, you know, from the survey results that you are then aligning your company values and your EVP to the culture and what people want.
So top tip number 1 is understand what you've currently got, what the employees want, and then top tip number 2 is then aligning that together. So taking that feedback and looking at what you offer and what you can change to then match what they want and what suits your company culture. Okay,
and then rolling it out.
So what's the third tip then for having a good EVP?
So for me, it's massive on doing some company research, you know, seeing what your competitors are doing out there. So conducting regular research on competitors, making sure that, you know, if it is down to flexibility in the workplace, if it's development opportunities, that you are constantly offering that ongoing, you're kind of evolving with what everyone else is doing. So I'd say that was kind of quite a big point of, you know, researching, you know, what else is out there, how can we do better, and a lot of the time we can't, you know, we've kind of already done it.
So like when people are leaving, if you were to do an exit interview, find out the reasons why they're leaving, and if it is about the benefits or the culture, then using that information to then try and change internally, you know, or if a lot of employees are leaving to go to the same competitor, find out what that competitor's offering that you're not. Absolutely. I mean, it could be something trigger, you know, that they're seeing somewhere else that we don't offer. I have to say though, we do this very well, and we conduct exit interviews for everybody, and I'm yet to have anyone tell me that it's been down to a benefit. It's usually because they have decided to come out of recruitment entirely, because we retain great people, and if people leave us, it tends to be to pursue a different career anyway. And actually, if there are any companies out there that don't know how to do that other than like the exit interview, we offer a benchmarking service as well here. So if they did want to see where they were in the market against their competition, they can contact us and we'll let them know in the location or in the industry what other benefits are being offered. So if they are losing all their staff and they don't know why, they can be benchmarked against everyone and see whether their package actually is competitive or not, and then they can use that. So if that is handy, please get in touch on our website. Okay, so we've talked about a lot already, but what would be top tip number 4?
A lot of the time when I speak to people that I am, actively trying to poach out there in the market, what is really important to people is progression and personal development. And this is a massive thing that I'm focusing on a lot this year. It is something that we have focused on a lot of last year, in kind of, being able to communicate really clearly what someone's career path can look like here. You're in recruitment because you can bill and make a lot of money, but sometimes that's not enough for people, and you can be a seasoned recruiter, you can be an entry-level recruiter, and you can never stop learning. You can constantly pick up some information that's going to make you better in your job. So we want to clearly communicate how people can advance and grow, so I think that's massive. That where I can go to, what's the next jump level for me, how can I progress, how can I develop, how can I become a manager, all these sort of things are really important to people. And a lot of the time people leave because they've hit a ceiling where they are, and I can't go any further, and I'm great billing, but I want to manage, I want to take on a team, I want to create something of my own. And a lot of people who are in businesses that don't offer that, well, that's a huge motivator to want to leave. So what I make sure here is that we implement lots of training initiatives. When you're new into this company, we have a Zero to Tog program, which was something I launched last year to ensure that everyone has all the tools and all the training that they need to be successful in their job, whether they've been in it 5 minutes or 15 years. You will all go through the exact same training process. And it doesn't stop there. We constantly check in on people. We've got access to an amazing platform that we use currently, to webinars, podcasts, sessions, huddles, things that you can constantly develop and grow with. So I think it's really, really important, and that investment in somebody goes a really long way. It shows your commitment to that individual, and you're investing in that person's development and growth.
That sounds really good.
Really good. Yeah.
Okay, so making sure they have a career development plan and they know where they can go will help with EVP, definitely. Because when people take on new jobs, they never have, it's never like a quick decision, isn't it? It's always like a long-term plan. So that if they know where they can go, then they're more likely to be happy and stay with that progression.
Well, changing jobs is one of the biggest things you can do in life, right? So it's getting married, having children, moving jobs. It's a huge decision to make. So that whole candidate experience as well, that should actually be in here, that candidate experience from that offset from a screening call with a prospective employer right the way through to looking after them through their notice period and touch points, and then being with them and having a decent induction process and onboarding process is so paramount into someone moving into a new role.
Yeah, definitely. That can be 4B, the tip.
Yeah.
Okay, so last tip then of our 5 top tips for improving EVP.
The last tip really is just making sure that you're enhancing that work-life balance and well-being for your employees. Promoting a healthy work-life balance by offering flexible working, whether that's hybrid, whether that's fully remote, whatever your business wants it to be, paid time off, those extended lunch breaks, those kind of things is really promoting happiness and well-being within the workplace, which is really important. You can have things like mental health days, which we actually do. Someone's not feeling great, that's fine, no questions asked. If you need a day off, fine, because we are a very open forum here, very we're like a family, so we want people to feel like they belong. And I think promoting that kind of work-life balance and that well-being is really important. You can do well-being days, you can do day trips, anything that you think will boost that kind of morale and that flexibility and that well-being in the workplace.
Yeah, we had that day when we had massages, didn't we? That was really nice. And lunch.
Good. Even an office lunch, it's just put down tools and enjoy some pizza, that kind of thing. Just go and talk to your mate, go and have a nice chat and a cup of tea in the kitchen. No questions asked. We're, I think, gone are the days where there's that pressured environment where you've got to be chained to your desk. That's just not modern, and it's not what happens.
No. Okay, so talking about EVP then, what would you like to have as your wrap up or your final thoughts?
So I think it's really important to, make sure that your EVP is authentic and individual to your business. Don't just copy what you see out there. Yes, you'll do your market research, you'll see what your competitors are doing, but make it your own. Make your company exclusive. Make them want to work here. So, being authentic, making sure that you attract that right talent so that individuals that you're attracting, their values align with yours and your company culture. People that you bring in are then more likely to thrive in that kind of environment if their culture and their values align with what your company does. They're going to stay. You're going to retain decent people. You're going to have longevity in the workplace. And when employees see that the workplace is committed and prioritises the EVP, they're more likely to be satisfied and engaged, and you're going to get the most out of people. Your employees are going to stay. You're going to get better retention. I think it also will contribute, massively contributes to the employer brand as well. So, people will shout about if they're happy where they are because they are feeling valued and the culture's amazing and it's everything they ever want it to be. They're going to shout about it, they're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
They're going to put posts on LinkedIn. They're going to, you just make noise. We do it. And I think that's something we're really good at, is promoting how great we are. And your walking advertisements are your people, and they are the ones, word of mouth. They will attract, their friends will want to work here. It will all, it's a spiral. It's amazing. You want to shout about how great things are, because people will. It's funny because you'll have people who will. People are so quick to criticise things, so it's nice when you have people shouting about how amazing something is, and especially in a recruitment environment, it's a really competitive market. So you'll also then get amazing Google reviews, and your employers will want to promote where they work.
Yeah, so your employees basically become your advocates, and they're shouting about the business. So, and also good people know good people. So then referrals coming in for other jobs. We've got a job going at our place, why don't you come and work here?
And recruiters know other recruiters, and recruiters will talk to other recruiters, and it will just expand, and you'll get some great people wanting to work for you. We have, we tend to not have too much of an issue attracting talent because we are really vocal about how great we are and what we offer our people. We expect great people to do great things, but in return we give them great things and great benefits and incentives and lovely working environments. And when employees feel that the company is genuine and committed, they will stay. And personal development, well-being, it just leads to higher morale, increased productivity, and just a better workforce in general. And it's essential for building trust between the employer and the employee. So if you nail your EVP, these are just 5 tips, but even if you just did 3, you'd probably see that there'll be an improvement on your retention. And here our retention is amazing, and we are below the agency standard in turnover. And recruitment agencies notoriously have a high turnover in staff because people are either going to be really great at it and have what it takes to be an amazing recruiter, or they won't. So I do feel that is something that we really have nailed, because our retention is well below the agency standard, because notoriously it is very high.
Wow, we've talked about so much today on EVP, and if anyone wants to talk about EVP or they're not quite getting what you're saying maybe today, reach out to Georgie.
Oh yeah, I'm always interested to speak to other people out there in the market, people who do my job, people in HR, whether it's to talk about talent, whether it's to talk about EVP, any HR stuff, or even if you're a working parent and you're juggling work and home life. I'm always interested to speak to people, just to share best practice and someone to talk to.
It's a great idea. So yeah, please reach out on LinkedIn. So Georgie, thank you so much for coming in today. It's been really insightful. We like to end every episode with the one word. Do you have a word?
Authenticity.
Ooh, good word. Becca?
Productivity.
And my word is going to be culture. Well, thank you all very much for listening on our top tips to improve your EVP. Like we said, reach out to Georgie if you want to discuss anything, and thank you all for listening. Bye.
Bye.
That's a wrap for this week's episode. If you want to be our next guest speaker on Toddcast, then get in touch with the One Group and don't forget to subscribe. We would hate for you to miss the next one.